Hello, welcome back to Coin Collecting for Beginners. And if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up and of course don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell. This today is we're talking about the coins from the country of Bangladesh. Now, Bangladesh is a relatively new country created in 1971 when it declared independence from Pakistan. Now, the details of how that all happened, well, it's pretty messy. So I won't get into that myself. My concentration, of course, is on the coins. So with the creation of a new country, of course, we need new coins. But they had a problem. Two problems. In fact, first, the new monetary unit was going to be 1 Taka equaling 100 Poisha, was not worth an awful lot of money. It was not a particularly valuable monetary unit. So gold, silver, even bronze was not going to be practical to use. However, aluminum and steel were cheap enough. But there was another big problem in Bangladesh, and that was the literacy rate, or very low literacy rate. In 1971, only 30% of Bangladeshis could read and write. 50 years later, it's up to 70%, which is still pretty low by international standards. Combined with limited metals for coins, differentiating each coin was going to be a challenge. And let's see what they did. Now, first of all, there was a 1 Poisha coin, and I'm sorry I don't have an example to show here. It was aluminum and was 15.91 millimeters in diameter. For comparison, a US dime is 17.9. The next denomination is the Poisha. That's this one here. And because of the position of the picture, we would probably describe the shape as being diamond-shaped as opposed to, say, square. But some years later, in fact in 1977, the picture was rotated 45 degrees. So now I guess we could say it's a square. So by making it square, that helps people recognize that this is a 5 Poisha coin, even if they couldn't read it. The 10 Poisha is a shape referred to as scalloped. There it is there. And this shape, if you check one of my previous videos of the Agora from Israel, that is another example of a scalloped coin. And again, scalloping helped a lot in differentiating from other coins that might be a similar size. To differentiate from the 1 Poisha, the 25 Poisha shown here is steel, and it's also a bit more gray because it is steel, and it's over 3 millimeters larger. It seems that a difference of at least 3 millimeters between different coins works very well to avoid confusion, even if the coin is the same metal, same color and shape. The 50 Poisha is also steel and 25 millimeters. Again, 3 millimeters larger than the 25 Poisha. Sorry, don't have one of those either. Now, like some countries that I have talked about in previous videos, Bangladesh suffered from inflation, which is why the 1 Poisha was struck only in 1974. The last 5, 10, and 25 Poisha were struck in 1994. Next, the 1 Taka is brass. That's this one here. And there's no mistaking it for any of the others due to its different color. This one, unfortunately, is a rather dingy brass. Not very shiny, but it's the only one I got. And then finally, we have the 5 Taka. And it is 12-sided and made of steel. So no confusing it, for example, with the 1 Taka. Very, very different. Oh, by the way, there was also a 2 Taka in between. I don't have one of them. And it was introduced in 2010. Now, in Bangladesh today, only a 1, 2, and 5 Taka are still commonly used in circulation. But it seems there's not a great demand for them either, because the last ones were struck in 2013. So it's been 8 years since Bangladesh has had to strike any new coins to meet demand. So why collect these ones? Well, they're quite cheap, as you can probably guess, usually in dealers' bargain bins. And even in mint state, it would be less than $3 for the 5 Taka. And let me just turn that over here. Get a look at the other side of it. Yeah, this one here is only in very fine condition. It's worth maybe 25-50 cents. Now, the most very interesting thing about them is even with limited metals, it shows that it is possible to produce several denominations that will look different enough to prevent confusion, even if a significant portion of the population can't read. So if you have any questions, please post in the comments. If you have any suggestions for economical collectible coins, please let me know. I just might have it in my collection. And I thank everybody for watching.